Hey, welcome back. I'm Bryson. Thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel, Jack of Trades. So this is day 2 of owning a Losi Promoto-MX. I didn't get a chance to get the bike out until later in the day, but I was able to get about 4 packs through it. I took it out to our local park and I got some runs on the dirt. This year I did some speed runs on asphalt. I drove it on grass. And then I took it out to the junior high where we got a large basketball court area and a large grass field, and I was jumping into the field. I have these little kind of kicker jumps, but they're pretty narrow. If I'm jumping cars, I usually set them side by side and put a board on them to get a wide enough jump. With a motorcycle, I can hit it. I can hit one jump, but it's really it's a narrow jump, so it's a hard target to hit. I missed that target more than I hit it. But we had a great time running the bike. Lots of crashes, lots of jumps, lots of tumbles and flips, and I think I'm getting the hang of it. Well, first of all, how fast do they go? So on asphalt, I've repeatedly gotten about 39 miles an hour out of it, and that's pretty fast out of the box for I think a large scale car on 2S. So they could probably go faster. Does it need to go faster? That's up to you if you want to make it go faster. I'll probably try to make it go faster, but I don't know if I want to. I don't know if the electronics can handle a 3S. There's really not room in the battery compartment for 3S. All right, so let's go through some tips on running the Losi Promoto-MX. So start by first turning on your radio. Hold the button down for a couple seconds. You'll see a flashing yellow light. Then go ahead and turn on the motorcycle, and then let it sit. You don't want to touch it. And that lets that gyro system initialize. So then we can go ahead and turn on the flywheel with the switch here. So someone had commented that they didn't believe me that I was running without a flywheel, and to be honest, I mean, it's not my job to make you believe me, but this thing is kind of noisy when it's running, and you know when it's on and when it's not. I think the flywheel spins at like 30,000 RPM or something, so it's basically running a brushless motor at full speed. I'll get into that a little bit later. But you obviously know when the flywheel's on. What's kind of interesting is, and now the bike's ready to go. But I want to show the 3 driving modes. So on the side here by the throttle, you have this button, and it goes up and down. The controller will both beep and flash for the appropriate number of times to indicate which driving mode you're in. There's driving mode 1, which is for off-road running. There's driving mode 2, which is for asphalt running, but it keeps the front wheel down, so it prevents wheelies and it lets you get the most speed out of the bike. And then there's driving mode 3, which lets you, it's kind of wheelie control, and it lets you do wheelies on asphalt all day long. And let me go ahead and turn this off. What's another interesting thing is, from the time that you turn it off to when it actually stops spinning, it takes a couple of minutes. Alright, so the flywheel just stopped turning. I finished my beer. I'll have to look at the video footage to see how long that took, but it's kind of annoying, but whatever. You can start the bike up without the flywheel coming to a complete stop. That is, I've done that several times. But I feel like my flywheel is getting noisier the more I run it. I've had a lot of crashes. So I've run into cars, I've run into fence posts, I've run into my wagon, I've run into curbs, I've done lots of tumbling from the jumps. And I mean, maybe it's just me, but it feels like it might be getting a little noisier the more I run it. But I don't feel any vibrations from the frame of the bike. So if you felt vibrations, that would be a problem. But right now it's just getting noisy. And maybe it's the bearings that are making noise. It might be worthwhile to open it up and see if you can lubricate those bearings. Maybe use some tri-flow or something. But for now, I'm just gonna kind of run it until I start taking it apart. And let's get into that, taking apart the bike. So, as I said earlier, I've ordered quite a few hop-ups, and the first set of parts came in today. So I've got the carbon fiber chassis plates, and I've got a front wheel in black. And I've got tires coming for this as well, and some aluminum wheel hubs. So once I get all the parts in, I will take I'll start adding them to the bike. I'm kind of having fun with the bike as is, and I don't really want to take it apart, but I'd hate to see these go to waste. And it'll also give me an opportunity to get into that drivetrain and see if I can lubricate the bearings on that flywheel. Alright, so the other thing I want to get into is battery life. So I've got about 5 packs to the bike now, and the average runtime seems to be around 15 minutes. So it's kind of low, right? I mean, it can probably be attributed to the fact that you got 2 brushless motors running. One's running at full speed at 22,000 RPM. That's the flywheel motor. And then the other is your drivetrain motor. But basically you're having to run those 2 motors, right? So if you want to have plenty of runtime, you're probably going to need to stock up on batteries. I would recommend having 3 or 4 batteries with you. 2 batteries, get you 30 minutes of runtime, but I feel like at 30 minutes you're kind of really getting into it, and you want more. So I think a 3rd battery is probably needed. Overall, I'm very happy with the bike. It's a blast to drive. So that's all I've got for today. Thanks for tuning in and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care. Bye. Oh my god. That was dumb.